I'd been reborn 6 times, and each time I couldn't change my wife's mind about the divorce. So, this time I decided not to push it. Calmly, I picked up the divorce papers and prepared to sign. But then, a voice whispered in my ear, "Honey, stop. Don't sign." I looked up, confused. Sarah hadn't opened her mouth. Her lips were pressed into a thin line, and she looked impatient. I gave a bitter laugh and shook my head. Maybe after so many rebirths, my obsession was so strong I was hallucinating. Did I just hear Sarah call me honey? This woman loathes me. How could she call me that? I raised the pen again, ready to sign my name. Sweetheart, please don't sign. I beg you, please don't make me get on my knees and beg. No, that was definitely Sarah's voice. After 6 lifetimes of this drama, I couldn't mistake her voice. I stared at Sarah in shock. But this time, I saw a flicker of conflict in her eyes. They were cold, but there was a hint of pleading in their depths. I rubbed my eyes and looked again. But there was no pleading, just the icy chill of winter. Great, not only am I hallucinating voices, now I'm seeing things too. Sarah, seeing that I wasn't moving, prompted me, "Are you going to sign or what?" Her voice was so cold I instinctively pulled my jacket tighter. I ignored the weird voice I just heard and signed my name at the bottom of the divorce papers. Then, I tossed the papers at Sarah's feet. There. That's what you wanted, right? Take your papers and get the hell out. I wasn't even a bit sad. Sarah probably thought I would question her, make a scene. But she was shocked when I just coldly signed the papers. Wah, sweetheart. How can your big ol' mouth say such awful things? It really hurts my feelings, and you went and just signed them like that? Aren't you gonna put up a fight? Sarah bent down, grabbed the divorce papers, and stormed out without looking back. I heard the door slam, then silence. I quietly got out of bed and lay down next to the door, straining to hear what the hell she was doing out there. What am I going to do? My honey doesn't want me anymore. Why can't I control this stinking trap? He was really into me, so he had to be so happy. Honey, open the door. Who wants to come back to this empty place? Honey, I am so sorry. Why did you just sign the papers like that? Have you ever loved me? But I really love you, honey. You are the best and cutest honey, so now I am a scorned woman. This is all so bad. I don't want a divorce, maybe I should burn these papers and then burn the author of this dumb book. Then she called her assistant, "Okay, get me the car to the crematory quick." I finally got some peace and quiet after hearing the footsteps leave. What the hell do you need a crematory for in the middle of the night? What is this girl's fetish? I recalled the hallucinations I'd been having. If I hadn't gone through 5 failed rebirths, I might have believed her. I should probably see a shrink tomorrow. Am I losing it? If this is real, I'm taking Sarah down with me. Whoever gives up is a dog. With that thought, I went to the bathroom, sank into a hot bath, and slowly drifted off to sleep. Honey, wake up. I can't believe you were so upset to go and kill yourself. What will I do without you? Honey. Too loud. Shut up. Honey, you are awake. You yelled at me. Thank God. I am going to have to go to the temple. That woman had to have heard me when I asked. I forced my eyes open, and saw a white ceiling. I felt like my head was going to explode. My stomach also felt like it was going to explode. I tried to prop myself up, but failed the first few times. The woman next to me noticed that I was struggling, and immediately shot her hands out. She used one to help me up and one to move the pillow behind me. She then fixed my blankets around me. Just as I was about to talk, she gasped as she felt my breath on her skin and took a step back. I looked at Sarah confused, but before I could talk, she already had the words in. Don't think that just because you overdosed that you will get what you want. The divorce papers are signed, and I already gave you a bunch of money. No matter what, the divorce is happening. I felt like throwing my hands up. I tried to say something but the female voice was still in my head. Honey, don't listen to her. I am here. Let's rip her apart. Just as that was said, I noticed Sarah move her hands, then move it again to her lips. Is it not a hallucination, but her inner voice? I was trying to think when a knock was heard. Sarah opened the door and a doctor with his clipboard was standing at the door. Sir, the results are in and you are all fine. You are just a little anemic. Next time, please be healthier. Honey is anemic. Tell my staff to make him some food later. He likes pork feet. Get to it now. I felt her voice bouncing around in my head and decided to speak. Doctor, does the scan include one for my brain? Does something happen? Do you get headaches? When he checked in, he got an examination. Right now, there are no issues with the results. Thanks, Doc. Alright, get some rest. You can check out tomorrow. The doctor said as he turned and left. I suspiciously stared outside. I was right, I didn't hear the voice anymore. Annoyed, I grabbed my phone. I then noticed a message from my manager that said I was scheduled to join a dating show. I told my manager, Queen, to help me get out of it. Great, I am going to go check out. I don't care what Sarah says anymore. I am done with her. Come long legs and big tits, here I come. Just then, it seemed like Sarah said something to the doctor as she came back. She took a look at me and gave me a cold stare. Changing already? Just checking out. What's it to you, wife? Don't just leave here. The doctor just told you to get some rest. She said as she went and tried to push me. I stared with a smile. Do you really care about me, ex-wife? She frowned when she heard that. Today is Saturday, the office isn't even opened. You could say we are still married. I have something tomorrow. I gotta go. How does all of this sound? I looked like I was just tired and didn't want to play with her anymore. I then heard her say I burned the divorce papers already. I never want us divorced. I couldn't help but smile as I heard that. This was an amazing time to test to see if it was her heart. Do you have the divorce papers? She paused and then said I asked my secretary to keep it safe. How could I not know that she lied? When she lies, she likes to tighten her left index finger with her thumb. She relaxed as I didn't ask any more. So, do you have work? You can just cancel. I'll give you money. It was time to change. I was moving to the door. I mentioned without looking back, no need. The divorce settlement looks fine to me. We are divorced, so don't interfere with me as I get back into dating. I hope you find the best person that you like. With that, I opened the door and headed off. What kind of dating is he doing, and who is trying to snatch my man? She rapidly walked behind me and caught up to me at the parking lot. It's hard to get a taxi. I will drive you. As soon as I walked away, I started to give off the vibe that we had nothing to do with each other. Little did I know that it only took less than 5 minutes before all of that would change. You bet I went into the car. Happy, Sarah started to drive off back to the old apartment. As no one said anything, Sarah's heart was being read by me. What kind of show? Should I ask him? What do I do if he changes? Sarah was causing me some crazy headaches, and was normally cold. I had to talk first. Do you want to ask about the shows? She stared without a response. God, he really is hard to talk to. I then huffed. I already said it was a show where celebrities can date people. I even asked if you wanted to go. She started to drive normally, but her heart was not. Who said no? I wanted to interfere. I already said I wasn't going. Why did he change his mind? Don't go. What will I do if I have to beg? I didn't want to deal with her anymore. Turns out, she made a chance to leave. Neither of us mentioned anything the entire time. However, I wasn't quiet. Husband is getting angry. When will he stop being a blowhard? Alright, I need to tell Wong to start tracking to see who is in the show. If a white lady goes and seduces her man. As she was going through that, the car stopped in front of the apartment. I am here. Head back. We can take the time out on Monday to divorce. Take care of those papers. Her face froze for a second when she heard it. God, is he not gonna let this go? Still doesn't stop. Alright, I will schedule the time out. Sarah was heading for her doom. I knew she was lying, but I had to play with it. I went and jumped out before rushing back into the house. I called Queen to set the schedule and tell everyone that they could come in the morning. As Sarah left, she was annoyed. She immediately called the secretary, Wang, to help get her the list of all of the guests for the show. Little did she know that she was getting more anxious. News broke out that there was a girl group called ZD, and then another was named Song Chi. Then a CEO from a big company was going to be joining. She wasn't enough to win her man. She immediately called Wang and said, "You need to add me into this." She was just getting so anxious. The next day, I heard a knock that woke me up. I set the alarm up as I was cleaning last night. I rushed to the door and noticed that the crew was here. I went to wash myself and changed my clothes before opening the door. However, I forgot that I was doing a live broadcast. There were already people giving out insults on me. Why is he so late? This is so simple to make money. I worked as a child actor, so people know who I am. I didn't know all of this. The crew entered and a host was following behind. "Sir, do you know about the show?" I poured him some water and sat on the chair in a relaxed state. "It's a dating show. It's not as if you were stealing public funds. I never joined this in the past, but it was a great show because it was interesting." The host, Quita, was someone who helped make it interesting. Little did people know that he was a friend to Amlin. However, I had changed it. It couldn't even give the chance to join. Quita laughed before saying, "I didn't expect you to be funny." However, the guests also have to participate in this show to join. I replied, "Of course. Love is something hard to get." Quita continued, "So, you have experienced love issues?" He was going to create an issue for me. I laughed and replied, "If it doesn't work out, is it still called love?" I would say it is a waste of time. Why would I need to burden myself for something else? Why did I need to take responsibility for someone else? I took a drink, and the live audience agreed. The director noticed all of this and told the staff to tell Quita to change the topic. He thought that there would be issues and clashes and not just talking to me. Quita got his order, but felt that it wasn't a problem. Dating is about people. People say it takes two to make a move. Can you say you only did what you needed to do? Was the failure to care about your girlfriend? What did it mean for your girlfriend to do too? Quita said it and I waved him to come near me. He didn't know what I meant and leaned in close. I gave him a swift slap in the face and said, "Is that enough?" The stream blew up. Everyone was asking what I was doing. Did I know it was a show? Was that Liv? What was Rick babbling about? X's cheating is somehow one hand clapping? The crew was stunned by the slap, ready to cut the stream. But the producer saw the hit spike on the live stream after my little gesture and barked at the cameraman to keep rolling. This show was supposed to be a slow burn, but it's trending already. Looks like getting Jake was a smart move after all. Still, Jake's got some balls, openly slapping someone on camera. Rick, finally snapping out of it, yelled, "What the hell, Jake?" I glanced at my right hand and said, "Hey, man, you okay?" Just had a mosquito buzzing around. See? I held my hand to the camera so everyone could see a little black dot right in the middle of my palm. And as I was showing it, boom, Jake angrily slaps Rick was trending. Little did I know, I had no clue the thing was live. If I did, I wouldn't have clocked the dude like that. Rick, though, knew it was live. Seeing the mosquito on my palm, his face went stiff. But he recovered quick. "Oh, right, a mosquito. I always get eaten alive." "Thanks, man." I waved it off, no biggie. "Anything else, or are we heading out?" The director glanced at his watch, seeing how much time had been wasted. The crew had prepped a million questions to poke Jake, but his little stunt was better than any planned drama. The impact was there, no need to hang around. The director nodded to Rick, who forced a smile. The other guests arrived yesterday, waiting for you. Let's not keep them waiting, then. See you at the mansion. I said, alright, bro. The crew, scene wrapped, piled into the bus headed to the suburban mansion. I was stuck lugging my own bags. As I waited for my ride, I checked my phone. A bunch of missed calls. I called back. It was Sherry, my manager, blowing up. Jake. Where's your head at? Did you know that was live? How many times do I have to tell you things? Where were you listening? The damn script was in the email I sent. My blood ran cold, I hadn't read the script. Between redecorating and getting the place ready, she had forgotten everything. A wave of guilt hit me. Sherry, I'm sorry. I'm heading over now. I'll study the script. I'll make sure everything's by the book. And I was just swatting a mosquito. Sherry retorted, oh, please. You think I'm blind? That mosquito was drawn on, wasn't it? Like you knew it was coming. Were you trying to sabotage the show or what? I cringed, too ashamed to admit that the dot wasn't a mosquito at all, but a mole on my palm. I was worried that my ex-wife, Sarah, would think it was ugly, so I had it tattooed into a little butterfly. She had seen it and asked, why didn't you wash your hands, and left in disgust. I always wanted to laser it off, but the doctor said the tattoo messed with the mole's pigment, and removing it could turn it cancerous. So, I was stuck with the butterfly mosquito. I told Sherry, relax. Nobody can tell, can they? Is the online buzz under control? Sherry said, are you doubting me? Worry about yourself. I had to beg the network to bring in bots to guide the narrative in your favor. They're saying you didn't know it was live, so you reacted without thinking. I laughed and thanked her. Hanging up, I stared at the mosquito on my palm. Maybe it's because I'm used to it, but it's a bit cute. Just to avoid more chaos, I pulled up the guest list. Whoa. All 6 of my personal demons. This is a dumpster fire waiting to happen. Guest number 1, Tiffany Stone. The it girl right now thanks to some recent TV show success. Turns out, she was in the school sports meet a few years back. I was there, waving a flag, cheering. Next thing I knew, I was trending for 2 days. Her fans nearly burned down my comment section. Seriously, I was just supporting my old school. Guest number 2, Zoe Young. Weirder still. When she was a rising star, a reporter asked who she admired most. She named me. I have no clue if she actually liked me, or just wanted the attention, but I got hate mail for days. Guest number 3, Donna Keith. Okay, that one's on me. Met the CEO at a party. She was hitting on us pretty bad. I didn't know who she was, I thought she was a crazed fan. From then on, we have been enemies. And finally, the guys. Guest number 1, my nemesis, Kyle Hill. Calling himself Mini Jake. Claiming to be me, but younger, but is actually older by 3 years. Ever since, he has always been after my resources. The relation between us is water and fire. Guest number 2, Todd Smith, the Academy Award-winning star. About 4 years back, he was involved with a famous female movie director. Not long after, there were rumors of me and the female director. It was easy for her to say that I liked someone else, and break up with Todd and have him lay it at my feet. And finally, guest number 3. He is well known, Louis Ma. He is Sarah's nephew and knows about our secret marriage. They've always felt like someone like me, worthless, could ever be her partner. With all of these people, it's a mess. But 3 women, 3 men, so what is the point of this? As I was driving, I finally made it to the mansion. I took a step forward and got ready for this mess. I heard a lot of noises coming from the house. I don't know if they will be happy with me after I enter here. As I was standing in front of the door, I thought it would be better for the to just have some happiness. As I thought that, I knocked without hesitation. After not too long, the door opened. It was Louis Ma. He looked like he was struck in the head for a few moments. I was getting ready for his nasty words, but I was shocked. Well, it looks like we have some drama here. The 5 cameras were moving towards me. I wanted to say hello. The 7th guest, however, all the guests looked at me like they were lost in space. On the stream, the audience was raging. It must suck for him. He must think that he can come whenever he wants. And those people have been working all day. Hey, is there an extra guest? What is going on? There is always 2 members per team. And there is a cameraman, so why can't they just change the team? The guest, I didn't know you were coming. Sorry, but we have already started the teams. I just thought about how there was a point to being bothered. I never believed that the company never told them I was coming. I was just feeling lost and shameful. But as I rolled into entertainment, I know what to do. I can ask in a nice way. You all must have been bonding all day. It's okay, and I can do it myself. After hearing it, it was a surprise that I didn't make the situation worse. I was happy about how they reacted. I wanted to get my room. What one is mine? As the 3 members looked at each other, none of them spoke. I looked confused and wondered what I had done. Was I not welcomed? Ka responded, how could that be? There is only 3 rooms, so that means 2 of us need to stick together. I wouldn't want to be in that way, so why not sleep with me? But I am a very messy sleeper. Ka wanted me to feel bad, but I was like, it doesn't matter. I also sleep messy. We won't bother anybody. Ka started to frown. As I said those words, he couldn't switch it to another guy. He really didn't like me, but his face just made me so happy. Then Todd said, sleep with me. I sleep very calm. Ka looked like he had gotten a chance to rest as he heard this, but I didn't get it. Why do you always hate me? It was only Todd was a high status, so I didn't have a way to get out of it. I nodded. As I was entering with Todd, all of this was very simple. I said, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Todd just said, no problem, as you sleep. I am only joking with Kyle. I said, don't worry. I sleep well. After speaking, we headed back downstairs. When we got close, we heard Tiffany yelling. I didn't want to hear her. That man has a plan to use her to make a rumor, but she has a plan for another person. As I was feeling like I needed to feel bad, I moved to excuse myself. Sorry, everyone, that you had to wait. As an excuse, I am gonna buy dinner. Not needed, man. There, no way. You can't use your money, the company doesn't want that. Zai quickly came to the excuse so there wouldn't be an awkward feeling. The kid must really be a fan. As he looked at everyone helping me, it was tough. The reason was that Louis wanted to be with her. The groups are already done. We can't make it any more confusing. We need to quickly come. But for her, it was okay to be on with Zai. Now everyone was set and ready for the orders coming out. Only one was by himself. Only this was a way for others to feel happy. We must excuse everyone. We are having another member to join. But there were reasons for the late addition to the team. The chat was raging. You really came up and just lied about a famous movie star, but it was just a rumor. And for those who are not, you can eat poop. The other member was just confused, but Jake was ahead. Everyone was confused. I knew from the show that there would be a late-minute entry. But it was very hard for those to join. If this was the star, Todd needs to be good. At the moment, Dong was a pretty bad option. Then there was a knock. When I opened the door, I saw the frame with another new lady. It blew up again. The organization actually can get another one? Right now the star was happy. As I was the only one, the orders were on their way. It was on all the chats. Todd had noticed it. was glad and had noticed that something was there. I was shocked that the star came at all. She said hello everyone. My name is Sarah and I was late for a minute. As everyone has their teams, let's head and do the orders. Todd then started to say don't do it on the spot. You can give the time to join. But he had caused an issue. Who's my partner today? Please don't let it be that fame-hungry drama queen. In my memory, Scarlett Hayes is like some untouchable goddess, the sleazy side of show business never touched her. Plus, she's the only one who never fell for Lyle's charm in any of the past lifetimes. But she asked me, so, hesitantly, I raised my hand. Right here. Scarlett frowned. I thought she might not want to be with me. No problem. If you don't want to pair up, we can go our separate ways. Both of them said this together as they chimed at the same time. Jake, no. Sorry, but I kind of grew up watching your stuff. The problem is you look and act completely different from what you used to be. I gave a charming smile, pulled a face mask from my pocket, and offered it to Scarlett. Scarlett looked at me, puzzled. Sorry, I don't use other people's masks. New mask on, and don't say a thing. Kyle yelled and stepped in. I snapped. I said, who are you yelling to? Then Scarlett interrupted me. Sorry. It's okay. I am a big fan of your movies. My name is Kyle Hill. I just got a role in the Imperial Dynasty show. The current show. Kyle then asked, are you sure the star hasn't watched the show? I am confused. She is in a position to answer as she is confused by Kyle's question. He did not know what to say. I am confused since they look the same. Are you and Todd siblings? Scarlett might have hit a nerve on the man, and he just shut up. He then said we are not brothers. It's Jake, not Todd. The show, it must be what they are. He knew that he shouldn't just joke around. The people next to him couldn't stop laughing. The celebrity knew that she said the wrong words for now. So she asked Jake, what would you do with a bad show with a mean crowd? At the time I just had to put it in the other guy's shoe and see him in shock. The show said get a mask, I am coming up with a routine. But the movie? I can be at the peak when I can move. And here it is. The oldest said don't stay any longer. It would take forever. I had to get a new job. They all had the mission card, the mission that would come. The first place, and this was simple because all of the people in charge were on break. Each of those has their mission to come. Kyle just did not want to be a part of it. And all of that was set and ready. Jake did not know how to work, as there were no resources left. He was not going to leave it all for the stars. It was all he could do to do all of this alone. After that, he came to see that show. I did not want her to feel all that at one. The time he just heard to those faces. He told Sherry to leave him alone. It was all he could do to do all of this by himself. They came and had to go with two sides. They just felt it and were on set. After that, his star had been hit. He had already sent a star on all of the sets. His heart must be at the star. He felt her face on there. I am there, and what am I doing with this star? I gave it the other to the star's face. I then walked away. What am I doing with these things? Then he asked something else. Her feelings was that he felt scared. They looked at each other. Now that we know that. No one can eat that. They're not a thing. She had her and all of that. Jake said the new thing is at least that you can say something. Scarlett did that and took what had come. They did all with the star, and made sure nothing had come. They tried and made sure they had a better time. Take time so you can see how she has done with this. Oh no. I had all of this and couldn't come up with anything. We ended up using the farm, and didn't have a single dollar. It was very nice there. He was not doing anything to the place, and just having a fun time. It turned into something terrible. He wasn't doing that right. He kept saying that he was at home. He said that he wasn't scared. She has been at this since she was a kid. It wasn't that she liked. What would she have done with the water? She was so cute. They stood to look at all of that. What happened? It looked so well, it was the time. And they all ran at their place. There was nothing better. The star. She turned to say that, but at the last moment got what? There wasn't too much, and couldn't say a word. They all have said that. They all started to look. What happened that you all started to look here? Well, let me say what. As things did not work, I ended up having someone call up and work for the program. It was her agent who helped. As she spoke a very nice time, they just ran. The star who ran. She told them, look and see. It made her feel better. You would then say you are at the top here. I touched the top on her face, and it was soft. And what was I talking about? She just wanted to say, I don't listen that. I then was scared that she was lost. I got all of this. I took her hand. You said nothing. It was a place that made her more better. She then let me hold her hand, and did very well. There was a lot on her face. Then things took shape. I then had to follow as there wasn't anything else. After saying it, she had her all. In fact, this was just an act. It looks hard, be very safe. All of that was safe. The star had to take. Then she got hurt. In fact, this was a very nice time to have all of that. This year she was with all, but knew that had to be close. They all gave up and started to look. She had her at the first moment. All of that made her win. And all was so much and could use. That was too late and was no. As that and I had not. They didn't want there. She never want. That time. She had what with a new person. At the new set they said they need those. This was the point here. She and more. I started on the show. I don't look. They said no and didn't do anything on there. It worked well on everything. They looked, what it seemed. What do she? They just had it at there. What she do, then nothing. He said no. This made things and. Not they had to stop those. I started there. In fact on those. The way they had. The head they have. And. They didn't make it to here. I did all. With my face. Not with all to see. She took all to the new end. They have nowhere to go. The way to have with. They had the high. No show. I'll never say the high. Was it for nothing? She did that too. She was there. Not as all in the. I'm here on her. I'd love to have the top. Not to tell. I